Today we're trying to use Forced Fruition to set up a board state where if our opponent makes the huge mistake of casting a single spell, they lose the game on the spot. Alright, so here is our Forced Fruition deck, and the plan of this deck is pretty simple. So Forced Fruition, one of the Wilds of Eldraine Enchanted Tales, one of the ones we haven't played yet. It's a 6-mana enchantment that says when an opponent plays a spell, that player draws 7 cards. So the goal of our deck is to make it so if our opponent casts a single spell with Forced Fruition out, they lose the game. So how do we turn Forced Fruition, which at first glance looks like a card that would help our opponent because they get to like play a 1-drop and refill their hand, into a game-ending, you cast 1 spell, you lose combo piece? The answer is we're playing a ton of cards that punish our opponent for drawing cards. Orcish Bowmaster. When our opponent draws an extra card, they get pinged for 1 and we amass. Underworld Dreams. When our opponent draws a card, they have to take a damage. Shieldred. When our opponent draws a card, they lose 2 life. So if we can stack up really any 2 of these effects alongside Forced Fruition, if our opponent plays a single spell, they should take enough damage that they die on the spot. So that is all we're trying to do with the deck. Stack up an Underworld Dreams and a Bowmaster, maybe a Shieldred, stick Forced Fruition, and be like, all right, opponent, cast a spell. We dare you, any single spell. If you do, you're going to lose the game. We also have Saison Perverter of Truth. This is our backup plan. A 5-mana 6/5 that says at the beginning of each player's upkeep, that player loses 2 life and draws 2 cards. So if we don't have Forced Fruition, we can stack up all of our Underworld Dreams and Bowmasters, play a Saison, go to our opponent's turn, they have to draw 2 extra cards, they lose 2 because of Saison, then that'll trigger our Underworld Dreams, our Shieldreds, our Bowmasters to burn our opponent out of the game. We also have some ramp, because Forced Fruition's kind of expensive. Utopia Sprawl, Sanctum Weaver just speed us into our big stuff. The One Ring draws us a ton of cards to find our combo pieces, a bunch of removal, some Thought Seizes, mana base, pretty typical, some Triomes, some Shock Lands, Fast Lands, etc. And that is our Forced Fruition. If you cast a spell, you lose deck. So let's jump into some games and see if we can set up a board state where if our opponent casts a spell, they lose. Thanks for watching, everyone. Enjoy the gameplay, and I'll be back in a bit for the wrap up. Need some magic cards? Well, you can snag them from our sponsor, Card Kingdom, over at cardkingdom.com/mtggoldfish. All right. We are trying to make it so if our opponent casts a spell, they lose the game. Can we do it? All right, we got the Forced Fruition. I mean, we got no payoffs. We can ramp a lot, though. I mean, our deck is full of ways that punish our opponent for drawing cards. So that's what we have the most of. So I think that Forced Fruition and a bunch of ramp and a Thought Seize is probably good enough. Trust that we draw into the Underworld Dreams or Orcish Badmasters. It's kind of funny, like, Orcish Bowmasters is straight up unplayable now, except in our deck. This is the one deck that actually can make it work because it still combos with Forced Fruition, but yeah, it's not what it used to be. Thought Seize you. What do you have to opponent? Control A. I guess we take the Lofty Denial. We would like to resolve some things and maybe some stuff. Opponent. Land go. I guess we continue killing ourselves here. Shock and Sanctum Weaver. Double Sanctum Weaver is a lot of mana. The question's gonna be, can we find our way through? Ooh, oh, they're like a flash deck, I see. I see. Can we find our way through all these counters? Opponent gets in with a Cutthroat, sure. I mean, they're probably gonna have to counter the Bowmaster, maybe. We'll take Numa, so they can counter whatever we play here. I mean, I guess we play the Sanctum Weaver. If it gets countered, that's annoying, but it's not the end of the world. Would you like to counter opponent? No. Yeah, let's keep the Triome. We actually might need to cycle that. Flash in the Bowmaster to block this Cutthroat. That might make our opponent counter, and then that would let us Force Fruition. The thing is, we really can't Force Fruition until we have the other combo piece. Force Fruition, just running it out there without a way to make our opponent die for casting spells, like punishment for drawing cards, is so bad because our opponent they draw so many cards and beat us. All right, they do counter the Bowmaster. Well, we can get it back in the future with this take Numa. Ooh, Shieldred. All right, yeah, I mean, that is one of our main combo pieces. This deck's so funny. Like, the concept of the deck's funny because the whole idea is Forced Fruition and making it so if our opponent does anything, they die. Unfortunately, the best combo pieces for that are Children Bowmaster. Somehow we're doing against the odds. Against the odds, Children and Bowmaster, two of the strongest cards in the game. But we're doing them in like what else are you gonna do? We got the Underworld connections. The opponent's gonna bounce this Shieldred. Well, we will, in response, take Numa, need the mana discount from the Legend, get back a Bowmaster. Bad Master. Well, there goes Underworld Dreams. Alright. Well, they bounced the Shieldred. Hopefully they're about out of interaction. That would be nice. We are down to 10, although a lot of this was our doing with our aggressive shocking. All right, opponent gets in for 2, sure. How much mana do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I think we just play the Shieldred. We can't Shieldred Forced Fruition, but we can Shieldred Bowmaster, and that would make Forced Fruition lethal if we can resolve it next turn. Because one spell would be, what, 21 damage? Show us what you got. Alright, opponent gonna get drained. This also means we're not gonna die to this Brineborn Cutthroat, which was getting in a lot of damage. Alright, are we doing it? Are we actually doing it? Let's flash in the Bowmaster. I mean, if this Forced Fruition resolves, our goal has been achieved. Wondering. Well, okay. Slither Wisp, sure. That's not a counter spell. Opponent's only got 1 blue. This might actually work. Well, we're playing the Forced Fruition. Oh, yes. All right, opponent. We're not even going to attack. This is on you. This is on you, opponent. If you cast a spell, you lose. So now we don't even have to do anything. We just wait. Would you like to Brazen Borrower? You gotta do something. You gotta do something, opponent. You gotta do something. Come on, deal with that Bowmaster. Show us that removal spell. Wait, did they just pat another Forced Fruition? Does our opponent realize what happens if they cast a spell here? Oh God, Sea Dasher Octopus. Well, they just wanted to flash it in to trigger Slither Wisp. All right, well, opponent, now you lose. Bowmaster, Shieldred, Forced Fruition. Opponent draws 7, and now we get a big pile of triggers. Bowmaster you 7 times, Shieldred you 7 times. That is 21. Opponent shouldn't have cast a spell. The funny thing, it was Sea Dasher Octopus. It doesn't even do anything. I mean, it's really like, what can they do? Like, if they don't do anything, they lose. If they do anything, they lose. Opponent, Brazen Bar with their Shieldred. Oh no, that just triggers Forced Fruition again, opponent. Oh God, so many triggers, so many triggers. Well, it worked. That was the plan. That was the plan, and it actually worked. Oh, we get to deal 42 damage? Oh my God, they're still going. Okay, opponent is just embracing it. They're gonna get their money's worth on the way out. Okay, so now we get to deal 63 damage. I think our opponent might be dead. I think it might be dead. We're not even gonna get to resolve most of our triggers. Sweet, 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 sweet. Bang ya, bang ya, bang ya, bang ya. Bang ya. And shouldn't have cast those spells, opponent. Shouldn't have cast those spells. That's on you, buddy. Trying to make it so if our opponent casts a single spell, they lose the game. And, well, okay. We got the Forced Fruition. Got some removals. Got lots of removals. Ouch. Well, that's Utopia Sprawl on this dual land. Funny thing about Utopia Sprawl in Historic. In Modern, usually putting on a dual land's kind of sketch. Ooh, what? Are we getting zombie hunted? Zombie infestation. Well, play the tap land. Wait, are they... Okay, Zatulpa, Serparagot, or Zera Emissary. Yeah, that's Ultra Ball God. Oh, this is the jankiest nut drive I've ever seen. Well, we're gonna kill this zombie. So Ultra Ball, pay 3, sack a creature, or exile a creature, reanimate a creature. If our opponent draws a land, we lose. The zombie... Is this actually an amazing game plan? The zombie infestation gets to make a token and discard the reanimation targets. The token you can use for the Ultra Ball. And, oh, they drew the land. Yeah, we can't even do anything about this. Like, we could try to kill the token, but it doesn't matter. We don't get priority. So now they get to reanimate. We're almost certainly dead here. I don't know how often this plan comes together, but wow, did that look impressive this game. All right, Sarah Paragon. Well, we can survive a turn by bouncing it. But the thing is, they just get to do it again. Well, you know what? You might have a Sarah Emissary, but we have a Season. We are going to pervert your truth, opponent. Actually, this is horrible for us because our opponent drawing 2 extra cards is 2 cards to discard to Zombie Infestation to keep the reanimation plan going. Yeah, there's no way we're beating this in a million years. Opponent. Oh God, Atroxa joins the party. Yeah, we're just dead. Well, opponent's deck looks cool. I might actually try to build this now. Ultra Ball Zombie Infestation Reanimator. I wonder what the backup is. My concern would be consistency, but boy, like turn 3 Sarah Emissary, turn 4 Atroxa. They got Jin, they got Italia. There's no beating this. This hand's pretty nice. So we got Bowmaster and Forced Fruition, so that's combo sort of. A single Bowmaster, not enough. We really need like 2 Bowmasters usually, or like an Underworld Reams or Shieldred. But we have the One Ring to draw a bunch of cards. Opponent going to consider. So I like this hand. I think we're in pretty good shape. Opponent land and passes. Well, Hive of the Eye Tyrant, go. Opponent appears to be a control deck of some ilk. This card's so much worse now. Opponent, wow, actually cares about it. It is good in our deck. Yeah, Sanctum Weaver is not bad. Our hand's pretty expensive. Getting a little ramp going. This actually might let us One Ring and draw on the same turn. Oh, do we, what do we play? I feel like I want the One Ring more than Shieldred. It's too much value to pass up though. Come on, don't counter it. Absorb. All right, so opponent appears to be playing many counter spells. Well, I mean, we do have Shieldred Forced Fruition. What is this getting? Pithing Needle, okay. Are we naming Sanctum Weaver? Even though it doesn't actually work, because it's a mana ability. Come on, you don't know that, do you, opponent? The One Ring, that makes sense. Well, we get to Shieldred. I mean, there is a world where we just, like, resolve this Forced Fruition and our opponent dies. That is a thing that could happen. Another thing that could happen is Supreme Verdict. Well, now our hand does not really do anything. Yeah, there's Underworld Dreams. Nice thing about Underworld Dreams, not as much damage as Shieldred, but it is very resilient compared to Bowmasters or Shieldred. This is our card draw punishment, most likely to stick around. Fae of Wishes, sure. And then Geist Wave to bounce it back to the... Wow, opponent's like a Fae of Wishes control deck. Interesting. They're actually like all in on this Fae of Wishes. Well, we need to try to kill it. They can discard their hand to bounce it. And they will. Yeah, our opponent discards 2 removal spells. Well, our opponent's essentially out of cards. Well, that's Underworld Dreams. Now we're a mana short of Forced Fruition. Although, if we go land Forced Fruition, that should be game. Land. Utopia Sprawl. That's like a really slow land. Okay, well, next turn. Next turn we can attempt to Forced Fruition. As long as I don't draw a counter, we should be good. But it's down to 14, which means Forced Fruition is lethal with a single spell. Opponent, Fae of Wishes, sure. I feel like they have a... Did they top deck a counter? They're not playing their Phyrexian on life. They probably did. Well, Forced Fruition, we're gonna go for it. Another Absorb, all right. I think, is our opponent blue-white control that's trying to use Fae of Wishes to get the Unlife Solemnity lock? That's kind of cute. That is cute. I really want that Forced Fruition. Do we Saison? Probably not. Let's just... So they're gonna lock us. We have very minimal ways to actually beat this. Yeah, let's run out the Saison. If they actually manage to Unlife Solemnity, we're kind of in trouble. Like, I guess we gotta draw Ottawa. I think that's our only way of getting... Seriously? All right, opponent, very good at drawing counter spells. Well, ping ya. I mean, that is a card out of our opponent's hand, which they need 2 cards to play and bounce another Utopia Sprawl. Well, go Hive of the Eye Tyrant. They do need 2 cards to play and bounce the Fae again. Yeah, eat a whatever. All right, well, opponent down to 10. 8. I mean, I guess we Utopia Sprawl. I don't even know what we're using this mana for at this point, but we might as well. Well, let's see if they do it. Opponent down to 8. Fae of Wishes. Bounces Fae of Wishes. And then next turn they can get the lock. So we can hit our opponent to what, 3? Oh, we might just be dead here. I don't know if we can beat this lock. Well, get in. Hit ya. Down to 5. Play the land. Ping ya. Oh, we were so close. Well, they have enough mana, right? Fae of Wishes. I assume this is Solemnity. Yup. All right, well, we are officially locked. Let's cycle the Tri-Up. I mean, I think it's Ottawa. Wow, we got so lucky. I believe that is the single answer in our entire deck to this lock. I believe it's the one copy of Ottawa is the only possible way to get out from under this. Opponent, search for Azkanta. I mean, so now I think... Oh, and Ottawa is perfect too because it doesn't even get countered. So now I think we just bounce the Unlife and our opponent dies. Like, bounce the Unlife. We can attack with the Hive of the Eye Tyrant, but even if they have removal, then the Underworld Dreams should get them. Well, get in there. This is our one shot. They better die. Wow. I can't believe we won this. Oh, we got so lucky. No combo that game, but somehow we lucked into the win. Well, I mean, if we can just resolve all of our things, this hand should do it. Bowmaster, Underworld Dreams, Forced Fruition. Better not cast any spell. Oh, life gain? Wow, and Shieldred. I mean, we have the fullest of combos here. Can we live long enough and resolve all of our stuff? Opponent, tap land, it's us. Down to 19. Well, do we shock ourselves? Do we even care about this bad master? I think so. We might as well get it down. Who knows? Maybe their mono white deck will play a card draw spell. More tap lands. Virtue of Loyalty. Should we just eat this Lunarch Veteran? Yeah, it's only 1 damage. We'll just flash it in end step. That's fine. Ooh, there's a 1 ring. That gives us some hope. Boy, so many shock lands. This mana base is hurting. Oh, do we even shock again? We can shock to Underworld Dreams. I think we're just going to play it tap, though. I'm a little worried about how much life we're losing here. So next turn we can, and next turn we probably have to shock. I guess next turn we could play off curve and in-play Underworld Dreams, but Dexos. Down to 13. Well, now we will shock and play Shieldred. Hopefully this will hold down the fort a bit here. Opponent, Dr. Cheesy Pants. No, Werefox Body. Oh, come on now. All right. Well, this is looking worse. This is looking a lot worse. Opponent has the removal spell. We don't have a Wrath. I guess we could draw a removal spell for the Werefox. That would be good. We can stay alive for a bit because of 1 ring, but I don't know where this actually gets us. 1 ring? Pro everything? Tap land? The 1 ring, so Bandmasters, we're seeing both of the big nerfs here. Bowmasters got wrecked. It's still good in this deck because of the combo, but it is incredibly worse than it was before. The 1 ring, we're seeing the downside of it. Like, we would like to be activating to draw cards here, but we couldn't afford to shock ourselves again. Wow, Seal from Existence. 4 mana gain protection for a turn is not that great. It's like a very bad sorcery speed fog. So the other thing about this combo is the whole if you cast a spell you lose thing is we do need to not be too far behind on board. Because if we're too far behind on board, like we are now, then our opponent can just not cast a spell and not lose and kill us with what they have on the battlefield. So we need a 1 ring. We're going to draw a card. We're going to play a tap land. And pass the turn. Boy, we could almost get it set up. We really need to draw a removal spell for the Werefox Bodyguard. If we can get back the Shieldred, that's the dream. Get back the Shieldred, then stick the Forced Fruition, then we're off to the races. Even just get back the Shieldred to go with the 1 ring to gain some life would help. Heliod. Well, we are pretty much dead on board here. No, we actually are literally dead on board here. All right, so we need to top deck something now. All right, Darkslick Shores, 1 ring. Oh, Shieldred, not good enough. We're still literally dead on board. Opponent cast a lot of spells and didn't lose. That is not how this is supposed to go. We'll get him next time. Finishing off our exploration of the Wilds of Eldraine Enchanted Tales, I think we've gone through most of them. We're trying to make it so if our opponent casts a spell, they lose. We have our Saison, which is cute. We do have the Forced Fruition, and the One Ring could be anything. Elvish Mystic. Well, we can kill that, which is good. So opponent could be mono green. Could be elves. Elves are like oddly popular in this format. Well, get rid of the Elvish Mystic. People love their elves. People love their elves for some reason. Opponent says nice. Okay, yes. Yes, our Fatal Push was very nice. Unbridled Growth, okay. I have no idea what our opponent's doing. Well, it's Utopia Sprawl. Our 1 mana green enchantment actually makes mana opponent. I'm not sure. I am not sure. Yes, nice. It is very nice. Why are you playing Unbridled Growth? Oh. Huh? Nykthos and Freyalise Seeking. Is this like some sort of weird hybrid of elves and devotion? Well, we're going to play a One Ring. We are going to play a One Ring. We can't draw because rebalancings, but next turn we can Underworld Dreams, start drawing. We do have the Forced Fruition. We need like one more Underworld Dreams, Bowmaster, Shieldred to really set up the lock. All right, Llanowar Elves. This does kind of look like Elf Devotion. Still not sold on Unbridled Growth. Unless there's something I'm missing about like making... Huh? Fierce Witch... All right, I officially have no idea what's going on. Opponent seeks an elf. Is this green cards that I own? I do. Why do you own Freyalise though? I'm so confused. I mean, it doesn't really matter because if we do our thing, like Witch Stalker, Freyalise, I mean, if you cast any spell, you lose. We don't really care what spell it is. Well, let's play the tap land. We are taking 5 this turn. Opponent says nice. Yes, we played in Underworld Dreams. Opponent says good game. Uh-oh. Does that mean you're scooping, opponent? Can you not beat our Underworld Dreams? Out of 19. Plays a land. Greater Hoof. Okay. Well, none of this makes sense, but we're super dead. Just doing hoof things. Weird green deck. Good game. It is Forced Fruition time. We're trying to make it so if our opponent casts a single spell, they lose the game. This hand, we got a bunch of removal. We do have Underworld Dreams, which is good. Are we shocking ourselves is the question. I mean, probably worth it to get down the Utopia Sprawl. This lets us, so if we put this on black, next turn we can Hive of the Eye Tyrant Underworld Dreams. That's a nice little start. Punishing our opponent for drawing cards. I mean, let's get it down. We could Thoughtseize, but I think this is fine. About it. Dragon Skulls on it. And are you Thoughtseizing our Thoughtseize, opponent? Yes. Well, okay. And let's Watery Grave Tap go. So we need a Forced Fruition. We got a couple of removal. Wow, opponent missed land drops. All right, how about another Underworld Dreams? I mean, if we find Forced Fruition, it's super over. I guess eventually our opponent just dies naturally. Come on, deck. Underworld Dreams. Chandra, sure. Underworld Dreams. Give us the Forced Fruition to go with our 2 Underworld Dreams. Takes up the Chandra. Can we find the Force? Oh my god, it's a Forced Fruition. All right. Tegnuma, Forced Fruition, opponent. If you cast a spell, it's gonna go fine, I promise. Just cast a spell. You know you wanna. You know you wanna. They did get down to Chandra. Thankfully we have this Hive of the Eye Tyrant, so we can kill the Chandra. The Chandra would technically win eventually by upticking, but opponent hits us at 14. Come on, cast a spell, opponent. Thoughtseize us, please. Let's fire up the Hive. I think our opponent, they must realize what happens here. Get in, hit the Chandra. Down to 3. Opponent untaps. Would you like to cast a spell, opponent? You get to draw 7 cards. We're actually group hug. We're actually just group hug. Opponent takes up Chandra. And, all right, opponent goes out on their own terms. They don't even bother to cast a spell. Well, that counts, right? That counts. Our opponent scooped it up because they could not beat the Forced Fruition lock. Sweet, sweet. Trying to make it so if our opponent casts a spell, they lose the game on the spot. No blue mana, but Sanctum Weaver technically makes blue mana. So we can like Thoughtseize, Sanctum Weaver, maybe get down the Utopia or get down the Underworld Dreams. Well, let's see what our opponent's up to. Gotta be Belcher. We'll take the creativity because that can find a Belcher. Well, this is just This is just a race then. We're not really going to interact with the Belcher kill. Yeah, strangles the Sanctum Weaver. Ah, that was going to happen. It's okay, Bear. I know. We didn't want that to die either. That's fine. It's okay. It's okay. Sometimes... Bearby, it's okay. Sometimes your creatures die. I know. It is frustrating because now we can't play the Underworld Dreams. That's what Bear knows. Bear knows our mana situation here, don't you, bud? He knows our mana situation. Not great with the Sanctum Weaver dead. So, I mean, now we just hope they don't find Belcher, basically, because if they do, then we're super dead. Also, that we need to draw mana. So we need our opponent not... Oh, Fable. That's a good card. Maybe Bear was right all along. Maybe we really did need that Sanctum Weaver. Opponent. Untapped. Well, we did draw a land, which is good, but we can play the we might as well play the Underworld Dreams, but this is still a pretty sketchy spot to be in. I mean, I guess that... All right, March of Restless Joy. Opponent's just digging for the Belcher. Yeah, and finding the Belcher. That means we're dead, I think. We definitely can't kill our opponent, and our deck cannot stop a Belcher kill. I wonder why Belcher is not more heavily played in Historic. I feel like Belcher should be busted. And a Strike It Rich. And opponent gets an Itza. So they're 1 mana short from doing it now, but Heartless Act, not gonna save us, and well, I think Bear was right. Woof woof. So if our opponent casts a spell, they lose the game. At least that's our goal. Some Forced Fruition shenanigans, and we'll keep this. No Forced Fruition, but we got some Bad Master, some Shieldreds. We got the One Ring to find our combo pieces. This is like rebalanced deck. We're playing all the busted cards that are no longer quite as busted on Arena. Well, tap land, go. About it, Island, and passes. Well, Hive of the Eye Tyrant, and I think we just main phase Bowmaster before our opponent gets another mana to leave up a counter spell. Search for Escanta. Yeah, let's just tap land. Get in for 1. It is wild how much worse Bowmaster is now. I almost feel bad playing it now. Just 2 mana, 1/1 flash. Ugh. But once we find the Forced Fruition, look out. Look out about it. Leaves it on top. Fable of the Mirror Breaker. Well, at least we got the Fatal Push, so we can deal with the Goblin. I mean, and then we get to untap and do something. Let's get down the One Ring. So normally it would be better to Shieldred first and then One Ring draw next turn. Our opponent appears to be some sort of Grixis control deck, and we really want the card advantage the One Ring offers, so I think it's worth getting it down when we don't have to worry about a counter. Crucius discards a Teferi, gets ambitious. So we can Thought Seize, do nothing. Opponent has 2 mana. So we can just Thought Seize draw. The highest upside line is Shieldred draw. Gain back the life. All right. So opponent doesn't appear to have a counter or removal spell. Would you like to trade, opponent, with our Bad Master? No. And now we have a go for the throat too, which is good. That lets us get rid of something. We really just need the Forced Fruition. If we can find the Forced Fruition, we're pretty much good. Opponent flips the Fable. Sure. Scarab God. Sure. Ah, Scarab God. Whatever happened to the Scarab God? Why does Scarab God not see any play? It's still, like, such a good card. Is it really just not good enough in 2023? Well, more Shieldreds, more One Rings. Unfortunately, though, no Forced Fruition. That's what we really... Well, get rid of that Teferi. Thought Seize that away. All their creatures are legendary, so this Reflections of Kiki Jiki doesn't really do anything. I think we just play Sanctum Weaver and pass. And then if our opponent kills anything, we can Fatal Push. Get rid of something. Opponent mills a land. I mean, we really just need to find Forced Fruition. If we find the Forced Fruition, we have assembled the lock. Opponent passes. Crucius discards. Forced Fruition. Forced Fruition. Underworld Dreams. Well, let's draw. If we hit land Forced Fruition, we can do it. Well, we hit lands. No Forced Fruition, though. Well, run out the Underworld Dreams. Watery Grave tapped. Search for Asganta. Scarab God. Also, somehow, there's no creatures in the graveyard. Well, okay, there's a Crucius. The Scarab God, not really a threat without creatures in the graveyard. Now I think we are going to actually kill the Scarab God, though. This means it won't come back until our opponent's end step, and then they'll have to play it next turn. They can Asganta try to find a counter, but that's fine. Thoughtseize. That's also fine. I mean, we just need to live until we find Forced Fruition. That's pretty much it. That's it. That's all. Opponent. Crucius. Exiles. I don't know what the point of that. I guess you slightly upgrade your Crucius. So your Crucius is a 4/4 instead of a 3/1. So I guess that's some value, but still not exciting. Oh, you get a Scarab God trigger. Huh. Yeah, I don't know if that's worth it. That was a lot of mana spent upkeep for minimal value. Well, ping ya, drain ya. Opponent plays the tap land. All right, this is it. We get a bunch of draws here. All we need is a Forced Fruition. And then if our opponent casts a spell, they are gonna lose. Opponent discards the Thoughtseize. Scarab God comes back to hand, sure. Well, One Ring drains us. That's a breeding pool. That is not a Forced Fruition. All right, One Ring. Draw. There it is. There it is. Okay, Forced Fruition is here. We will play it. We could attack, but I don't think we're going to. Opponent. Opponent. Would you like to cast a spell? If you do, you are going to lose. Opponent. Search for Asganta. Asganta gets a Fatal Push. Ooh, you can Fatal Push our Bowmaster's opponent. Wow, did our opponent not read it? Wow, tries to Fatal Push the opponent did not realize. They didn't see it. They cast a spell, and now the punishment is death. Yes! If our opponent casts a spell, they're gonna lose. Assuming we can get everything set up, which it takes a little work. It takes a little work to get it set up, but if we can, yeah, let's shock ourselves. We need Utopia Sprawl. I mean, we kind of have the combo here, right? Shieldred Forced Fruition. We need to resolve it. We need more mana and to resolve it. Opponent scries to the top. Well, let's Thoughtseize. Let's see what our opponent's got going on over there. Oh god, mill. Okay. Because that can actually interact with our stuff. I mean, opponents only got one land. If they never draw lands, cut down Fatal Push doesn't really do much. Opponent tap land. I think it's time to play a dirty... wait, Founding the Third Path. They can flash something back. That's fine. I think it's time to play dirty Shieldred here. I mean, so basically, we need Shieldred to live 2 turns. And then we play the Forced Fruition. And then if our opponent casts a spell, they lose the game. Opponent. Maestro's Theater. A little fetching, sure. Not as good without the crab. I assume that's in the deck because it's good with crab. Founding the Third Path. So, they're starting at level 1. So eventually, well, we might just be fast enough. So our opponent's going to be able to flash back the Drown in the Lock to kill the Shieldred. But we might be just fast enough here. So play the land. We might as well get in with the Shieldred. So our opponent this turn just mills. Unless our opponent draws a piece interaction, we get down the Forced Fruition. And then if our opponent tries to flash back the Drown in the Lock, they lose the game. Mills us. Wow, I can't believe we're going to beat this. I can't believe we might have a shot here. I mean, they could have a counter. They Fatal Push the Sanctum Weaver. That's fine. Tap out. Cacophony, okay, sure, they mill us. That's also fine, because we get to shock ourselves and play a Forced Fruition, and now if our opponent casts a spell, they are going to lose the game. We're not going to attack anymore. We don't need to attack. You're about to reach the 3rd chapter of your Founding of the Third Path. Exile instant or sorcery, copy it. You can cast the copy. Oh, are you going to kill our Shieldred? Oh no! Oh no! Oh, opponent made the mistake of casting a spell. Forced Fruition, draws 7. Shieldred, 7 triggers, and before the Drown in the Lock resolves, our poor opponent going to meet their end. Wow, I don't think our opponent realized. Look at this long pause. If our opponent casts a spell, they lose the game. And this hand, not really close to comboing, but we have some nice little interactive pieces. We can Thoughtseize and Fatal Push and ramp into Shieldred. Thoughtseize you. Is this a rat deck? This is a rat deck. Well, we're going to take the Pack Rat, because we played rats not long ago, and one thing we learned is that Pack Rat's still kind of busted. I think we can beat the rat colonies, especially with double Fatal Push in hand. Well, Utopia Sprawl. on the breeding pool. We are kind of killing ourselves with these shock lands, but let's get rid of the rat colony. I mean, opponent's got 3 cards in hand. We know there's a Bantu monument. Like this, we should be good. We better, hopefully we don't lose to rats. Yeah, let's just, I was wondering if we should try to like Underworld Dreams, leave up Fatal Push, but that doesn't work anyway. So let's just get down to Shieldred. Typhoid Rat drains us. Rat Colony drains us. Alright, and Piper the Swarm drains us. Well, this is going about as well as a janky rat draw can go. We gotta kill the Piper the Swarm, because that can actually eventually steal our Shieldred, which would be disastrous. We really need, so we need 1 more mana in the Forced Fruition. Shieldred can hold, oh no! Oh, that's not good. It's another Piper the Swarm. Gonna go attacking. Well, we're gonna Bowmaster and get rid of a rat. Now we're trying to play around this Piper the Swarm. Oh, we need, okay, that's a land. Okay, there's 2 ways this can go. So we have 6 mana. So if we just draw Forced Fruition, we're good. If we don't draw Forced Fruition, drawing a removal spell for this Piper would also be good. Because eventually our opponent is going to draw a land and going to sack rats and steal Shieldred and... Oh, pack rat. Settle down over there, rat deck. Another Underworld Dreams. I mean, we have a lot of punishment for our opponent drawing cards, but none of this stops us from just losing to this Piper the Swarm. So he can make a rat, and now if they draw land, they can just sack the rats and steal Shieldred. Either, maybe they don't even care. They can also, like, their rats have Menace, right? Because of the Piper. Is Piper the Swarm actually a good card? So Menace means we can't block anyway. They might be better off not stealing Shieldred, even if they can, and just, like, killing us. Like, make another pack rat or draw a Lord Skitter. Yeah, we're gonna lose to rats. We're gonna lose brutally to rats. Now I want to kind of build historic rats and see if they're good. Opponent hits us to 9. Oh, well, we're gonna play it. Opponent, please top deck a spell that you just really have to cast before you attack for lethal. Oh, we found the lock, but we're so far behind on board that it doesn't matter. Opponent, don't go to combat. Cast a rat. Show us a rat colony. Show us a rat colony, opponent. Oh, opponent saw the line. They saw the line of doing nothing. Well, they didn't cast a spell, so they didn't lose. That's how this deck works. opponent played around it, making it so if our opponent casts a spell, they lose the game on the old Spotterino. This hand seems fine. Need another black source. Wow, all our breeding pools. Need another black source for Underworld Dreams, but Utopia's Brawl on black. Go. Swamp for our opponent and Gifted Etherborn. Well, I guess one way we can get all the black sources is just draw a bunch of Utopia Sprawls. Yeah, let's just... So it's not mana efficient or whatever, but it's not like we can do anything with this anyway, so... Utopia's Brawl black, Fatal Push the Gifted Etherborn, play a tap land. Alright, well, now we're to the can we draw a Forced Fruition part of the game. We got the Underworld Dreams and the Shieldred. Silver Schmote. Wow, we literally drew all the breeding pools. Alright, run out the Shieldred, play the tap land. Didn't kill Shieldred yet. Down to 18. And Cordial Vampire. And Saxus Silver Smote. Gets drained, grows the dork. Ugh, even more lands. Well, okay. Underworld Dreams. And tap land. I mean, maybe we just win fairly. Opponent's taking 3 a turn from drawing for their turn. They really need to kill Shieldred or they're in trouble. Just like having the Shieldred out though. Alright. The opponent realizes that Shieldred was a problem, kills it. Hits us down to 17. Thoughtseize. Not ideal. Well, we gotta take one of Exquisite Blood or Veto. I think Exquisite Blood. Together, that's an infinite combo. Opponent. Blood Gas, sure. And Veto. Alright. Come on, big draw. Well, Shieldred is a good one. Oh, we really need our Forced Fruition. Gets drained, gets drained. This veto is kind of an issue. Being able to give lifelink can keep our opponent from dying. Opponent draws a land. Kill the Bloodghast. Opponent goes to 7. Drains us for 2. Grows their dorks. We draw Forest. Just pass and play defense. They can't really attack this turn, right? If they attack, we get to kill the veto. Or I guess the Cordial Vampire. Oh, they found the combo anyway. Alright, so if anything happens, we lose. If we lose life or they gain life. Yeah, so we're just actually dead. Forced Fruition time. We are trying to make it so if our opponent casts a spell, they lose the game on the spot end. We need a Forced Fruition, but I mean, Underworld Dreams, Bowmasters, a little bit of mana fixing, a Thoughtseize. It seems reasonable. Reasonable-ish. Reasonable enough. Opponent's name, Snot. Okay. Hello, Snot. Hello. Is that a Snarl? All right. Snot with the Snarl. Let's play a Triumph Goo. The Triumph's not bad. We did want more black mana for this Underworld Dream, so... Abundant Pathway. And a Blood Honest. Well, Thoughtseize. Ooh. Well, we're definitely getting rid of the One Ring. Opponent says oops. I don't know what would the oops be for? What did they do wrong? Drawing the One Ring? Opponent, Zulaport Cutthroat. Alright, so opponent, some sort of weird aristocrat deck. Well, we get our own One Ring. Let's play the Sanctum Weaver. Run out the tap land. I mean, we do still need a Forced Fruition, but the One Ring is going to start drawing us a bunch of cards, so hopefully it finds us one. Well, we get to block the Cutthroat. Can't block the Vampire of the Dire Moon. Let's just One Ring. Thanks to Sanctum Weaver, we can actually start drawing cards. Oops. Yes, oops, opponent. Oops. Opponent. Well, let's start drawing cards, looking for that Forced Fruition. Underworld Dreams. Yeah, we've drawn a lot of non-black mana this game. Let's get down to Underworld Dreams. Actually, we should draw first. See what we find. So many Underworld Dreams. All right, Underworld Dreams. Go. Opponent gets pinged. Boy, if we can find the Forced Fruition. So opponent has a Wrath, which is... I mean, it does trigger all their Blood Artists. They lose their board, though. Opponent gets in for 1. Last turn, they attacked with the Zulaport Cutthroat when we could block. This turn, well, oh, wow. All right, opponent's just going to Wrath. So we take a bunch of Blood Artist triggers. 7? All right. So we're down to 8, plus the One Ring. Ottawa's actually kind of big here. Ottawa lets us pick up our One Ring, which I think our opponent was going for the One Ring kill, honestly. Like, that was an aggressive Wrath, but if the One Ring's dealing 2 a turn, that's kind of a fast clock. So I think we actually just pass. I think our plan is draw with the One Ring and then Ottawa it to avoid death. Opponents probably, they gotta be reanimating, right? Everything we saw from their deck makes me think Return to the Ranks shenanigans. If they have a reanimation effect, then that aggressive Wrath of God makes a lot of sense. Well, all right, opponent's just gonna play a land. Well, we will One Ring. Hopefully a Forced Fruition. Well, not yet. A Tuara pick up the One Ring. Okay, I mean, we're stable-ish. Do we just run it back out and start it over? All right, One Ring, get some protection. Now that we found a Shieldred, the One Ring gets a lot better. Because now it will start gaining us life instead of losing us life. Utopia Sprawl on black, play the Swamp, pass the turn. So we can run out Bowmasters, draw with the One Ring. We really just want the Forced Fruition. We have everything we need to make it so if our opponent casts a spell, they lose. Except the Forced Fruition. So hopefully we draw into that. Opponent. Passing. And draw with the One Ring. Forced Fruition, please. So we get a 5. Thoughtseize for 3. But then Shieldred gains us back 2. Back up to 5. Well, let's start with the Thoughtseize. Opponent. Oh, they had us, didn't they? Take the Wrath. Yeah. Oh no, they didn't have us because Rally Exiles Upkeep. They were close. So opponent, they had the Rally the Ancestors. What they didn't have was a sack outlet or enough mana to rally and then Wrath. Well, that's one ring. Gain back a bit of life. So many Underworld Dreams. Come on, Forced Fruition. I mean, I guess we can actually shock ourselves now, get on another Underworld Dreams. I mean, every card, extra card our opponent draws really hurts now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, opponent untaps. If they draw like a cheap sack outlet, they could get us. Reanimating their graveyard and sacking it. But without a sack outlet, the rally just doesn't do anything. Vampire the Dire Moon. All right, come on, Forced Fruition, come on. Let us do the cool thing. Sanctum Weaver. Well, one ring. Go digging. Oh, there it is. There it is, an opponent. Opponent. All right, get down the Forced Fruition. Well, now opponent, if you guess the spell, you don't just lose, you really lose because opponent says oops, yeah, there. Let's see if they realize how bad this is. So I think what our opponent wants is us to attack and then they rally back and like get us. But now if our opponent does anything, they just lose. Let's see if our opponent realizes. You can see them hovering. Shieldred, Bowmasters, one ring. Let's see if, oh my God, they're going for it. Opponent. Opponent. That was a big mistake. Okay, opponent draws 7 cards from our Forced Fruition. So we get 7 Bowmaster triggers, 7 Shieldred triggers, 14 Underworld Dreams triggers. Yeah, that is very, very lethal. Yes! We didn't even really need the Shieldreds, did we? Oh! Oh! Well, that was kind of the dream right there. Yeah, shouldn't have cast a spell. If you do, the end result is you lose. GG, opponent. So what do we learn about our Forced Fruition? If you cast a spell, you lose deck. And overall, this is one of those decks that I think's more funny than truly competitive. I played more than 30 matches with the deck and got a 39% match win percentage. So probably not gonna rank up with the deck, but it does do really funny things. Putting your opponent in the position where if they do anything, like cast any spell, they just lose the game on the spot is such a hilarious way to win a game of Magic, and we got to do that many times throughout our matches with the deck. So the deck does a good job of doing what it's trying to do, which is turn Forced Fruition into this weird game-ending combo piece to turn something good, drawing 7 cards, into something really, really bad to the point where it just loses you the game. But overall, like, it's kind of clunky. Forced Fruition, we can't even play it unless we have the right setup, or else it just helps our opponent. So it's not a deck that's ever going to be super competitive, but it is a really, really hilarious way to win. So that's Forced Fruition. That's if you cast a spell, you lose. Thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will talk to you soon. Looking for even more Magic? Well, check out the video where we put a billion counters on Gruff Triplets, or maybe the one where I explain the Magic the Gathering iceberg.